guys! Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this look right here. It's a blue and gold halo eye inspired by the video I did where my daughter did my makeup because she used these exact eyeshadows on my eyes. Not quite so artfully, but if you're interested in seeing how to create this look, please keep watching. I'm going to start by using the NYX Pore Filler Primer. I actually haven't used this one in a while, but my pores are really not a pretty sight right now, so it's a good time to use Okay, so I'm going to go into the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation. I am in the shade Natural Beige Medium 2.5. This foundation, you really can't use a sponge on it. It doesn't apply very well that way, so I'm going to use my Real Techniques face brush to apply it. And just get it on the brush and apply it on the face, and then blend it up. I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Medium 25 to conceal underneath the eyes. Down the nose. The sides of the nose. Just a little bit on the chin. And on the forehead. On me, it tends to look weird if I put too much on the chin. I don't really understand it, but it just looks really fake. It looks fine everywhere else, but on my chin, it just looks incredibly fake if I put too much, so I'll just put the smallest dot there. I'm just going to blend that out with my Real Techniques sponge. I really prefer this sponge to the original Beauty Blender. I do have the name brand Beauty Blender, but I find myself using the Real Technique ones a lot more. I like the texture of them better. They get a lot bigger than the actual Beauty Blender, so I prefer the Real Technique ones, and I mean, they are less than half the price. I actually found a 4-pack of these at Kohl's for I think it was like $18.99. So I got 4 of these for less than the price of a Beauty Blender. I'm just going to make sure I'm bringing my concealer up onto my eyelids in order to prime my eyelids for eyeshadow, because I never use a separate eyeshadow primer. I always just use my concealer. Now I'm going to take my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Translucent Extra Coverage, and I'm going to use that to set underneath my eyes. And I'm just going to use the same sponge to do that. I'm just going to put the powder underneath my eyes and down the side of my nose. I'm not going to go too heavy with it, because when I put too much powder on, it actually seems to help my under eyes crease instead of prevent it. Now I'm going to use my Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Face Powder, which, if you've been watching my videos, you know that this is literally the only face powder I use. I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face. I always make sure when I'm setting all of my foundation to use a patting motion and not a brushing motion to make sure to not disturb any of the foundation underneath. I'm going to add some bronzer. I'm going to use the Almay Smart Shade Powder Bronzer in Sunkissed. And I'm just going to take this Royal and Langnickel powder brush, and I'm just going to swirl it all about the whole entire thing. And then I'm just going to bronze up the forehead. And the cheeks. Now I'm going to start with my eyes. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I was inspired to do this look by the challenge video I did where my daughter did my makeup. And if you haven't seen that video, you should go watch it. I'll put a link in the description bar down below, and I'll link it up here in the corner. It was so cute and so hilarious. But anyways, in the video, she used some blue eyeshadow and some gold eyeshadow, and you know, I mean, it's a kid doing my makeup. It wasn't ideal, but I got inspired to create a look that you actually would want to wear from the colors that she used. So she used these two colors right here, and I'm going to create a blue and gold halo eye from these shades that is, you know, wearable and dramatic and beautiful. So I'm going to start by taking this big fluffy blending brush by Sedona Lace, and I'm going to go into this Anaheim shade here. It's just a nice cool toned brown that's good for a transition shade. And I'm just going to work that into my crease. I use this shade as my transition color a lot when I'm doing cool tone looks. It's really good for that. Now I'm going to go into this Serious shade here and just start to deepen up the outer V with a smaller blending brush. The shade is kind of like a deep purpley gray with a tiny bit of shimmer in it. I'm just going to put this on the outer V and just slightly into the crease. And then we're going to do the same thing on the inner corner, because what this is doing is this is giving the blue color here a good base to sit on. Now I'm going to go back to our blending brush. I'm not going to add any extra product. I'm just going to go and I'm going to blend that out and make sure that all of our edges are well blended. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that dark shade, which is called Danger. I'm going to use a really, really flat eyeshadow brush to be able to apply the shade as pigmented as possible. I'm also going to spray it with a setting spray so that I can apply it wet. I want it to be bold. I'm going to take some of our setting spray and just... And then right over the top of where I put the gray shade, I'm going to pack this on. I'm going to take our blending brush once again, tap back into the Anaheim shade, and work on blending out the edges. Now we obviously left the center of the eye open in order to accommodate that gold shade. When you start blending, some of the blue and everything will start to move in there a little bit, which is okay. You just don't want to pack any color on there because then it will start to look muddy when you add the gold on top. Okay, so now I'm going to take a different brush, of course, and do the same thing with the gold on the center. Grab a ton of it on the brush, spray it with the setting spray, and pack it on the center of the lid. Once you've added the gold, you may want to go back in with the blue and adjust it back and forth and make sure that where your gold meets your blue is even and that everything blends how you'd like it to. And then I'm going to blend the top out once more. I was originally planning on putting liner with this look, and this happens to me so often, is I'm planning on doing like a wing or some bold liner, and then I'm so happy with the eyeshadow that I don't want to cover it up, so I'm not doing liner. I'm just going to take a brush and just lightly dust underneath to make sure that any little bits of fallout are gone. I'm going to go ahead and put the gold shade underneath the eye. And I'm just going to put that completely underneath the eye quite dramatically. There. And now I'm just going to use this shade Bathwater, which is kind of a light iridescent gold shade, highlight my brow bone. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick time out to fill in my brows. If you're interested in how I fill in my brows, I did do a whole detailed video on it, which I will link up there and will also be linked in the description bar down below if you want to check that out. So now we need to finish up the face. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in Rose Champagne. It's a really nice understated but shimmery blush. So anytime I'm doing a really bold eye look, I tend to gravitate towards this one because it doesn't detract from it, but it is also really shimmery and pretty. For highlight, I want to go with something really gold, so I'm going to use Prosecco Pop from the Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics face palette. I'm just going to put a lot of that on the cheekbones. And then also highlight my nose just lightly, and the Cupid's bow. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Then use the Tarte's Lash Paint mascara. I'm going to use the NYX lip liner in Plum. And there's the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel for more videos. I love you guys. Bye.